Internet, Eric here. Random video for you guys tonight. And before I get to the subject at hand, I have to talk about something else first. A lot of people are talking about this Leaving Neverland thing. I don't know if it's a documentary or an actual TV series, what have you. It's on HBO. I haven't watched it yet, okay? So what I'm getting from what I read either on Facebook or Twitter or just people talking in general, it's two of Michael Jackson's accusers, when they were children and they were supposedly molested by Michael. They've now come forward, because he's dead. They've now come forward and they're telling, detail by detail everything he did and how, the security system he would have on Neverland Ranch and just, all the stuff Michael supposedly did. Now, I'm not saying he's innocent. Again, I haven't seen the documentary. Yes, I do know that even though Michael's dead and he can't defend himself, as batshit crazy as he was, he can't defend himself. And, yes, I know, even though these people supposedly have been caught changing their stories so many times, I know people can be coerced into changing their stories, and celebrities can get off, scot-free, depending on who the lawyer and the judge is, OJ, what have you. This Leaving Neverland thing is a big, big deal. And that is what's getting into the subject I actually want to talk about. Growing up, like a lot of people in my age range, huge Simpsons fan. Now, granted, I haven't watched it in years. I guess it's just been signed for another 2 seasons coming up. Fuck me, right? It's almost 30 years. But back when it was good, I think it was the second or third season. I think it was the second season. There was an episode called Stark Raving Dad. And if you don't know what that was, it was an episode where Homer fails an aptitude test. What happens is he fails that and he's sent to the mental institution, and it becomes One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and he meets a fat, white, bald mental patient who claims to be Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson actually voiced this character, and eventually it leads to Michael helping Bart make a birthday song for Lisa because she feels left out because of the whole Homer's bringing Michael Jackson home to the Simpsons household type of deal, okay? Now, Matt Groening, in his infinite wisdom, is now deciding to remove that episode from all syndication and all this jazz because of what's coming out in this Leaving Neverland documentary. Now, I already thought Matt Groening was pretty pitiful before because I did a video on the whole Apu situation. If you want to watch that, go ahead and watch that. But the basic idea of that was they're removing Apu from The Simpsons somehow because he's now being viewed as a poor Indian stereotype. After 25 years, he's now being viewed as an poor Indian stereotype, and everyone else on that show is a stereotype as well. Blah, blah, blah. So, cut to Michael Jackson. Now, when was Michael Jackson first accused of being a pedophile? Decades ago, and they kept that show in rotation. They put it in their DVD, season compilations. It was no problem then, right? Because Michael Jackson was just allegedly a pedophile. A pedophile, whatever. Now, what's the difference between Michael Jackson allegedly diddling kids decades ago to now this documentary coming out? Now, again, I haven't seen the documentary, but I don't see any difference at all. He did it years ago. There's been rumors about it numerous times. Groening never did a damn thing back then, even when The Simpsons was still popular and churning out all these DVD sales, or, these DVD season collections and syndication and this and that. So what's the difference then and now? Is it this PC culture? Is he a liberal? I don't know. Everyone pokes fun at liberals. That's why I threw that in there, because they're the ones that seem like they're offended over everything. I really don't know. But here's the thing. If Matt is deciding to take out if Matt is deciding to take out the Michael Jackson episode, he has a lot of other episodes that he has to take out, because it would be pretty hypocritical of him if he didn't. Case in point, George Takei. Sulu, from Star Trek and, Big Bang Theory, oh my, that guy. He did a voice of Akira in an early episode. He was the waiter at the Chinese food restaurant or Japanese food, I don't know what it was, but where Homer went and he accidentally ate the poison sushi. Sulu, George Takei, a few years ago was accused of sexual molestation or sexual harassment or inappropriate groping of an underage boy. Okay, now a lot of people say that the guy came out saying that he was lying and George Takei was innocent. Well, Michael Jackson was found innocent. So what's the difference? You'd have to take out that episode. There's rumors or some celebrity has accused James Woods of either hitting on her or making inappropriate advances or whatever when she was 17. Okay? James Woods was in an episode of The Simpsons. It was an episode where he was working at the Quickie Mart because he's a method actor and he wanted to learn how to be a convenience store clerk in some movie he's doing. He was hilarious in it. Better take him out as well because, accusations. It's only fair, right? Let's also talk about who else can you take out? Dr. Hibbert. So if you're taking out the Michael Jackson episode, you're going to have to take out George Takei's episode. Let's take out James Woods' episode. Why not take out every single episode with Dr. Hibbert? Now, Dr. Hibbert is well known to be a parody or a composite of Cliff Huxtable, who was played by everyone's favorite rapist, Bill Cosby. And we know for a fact Bill Cosby was found guilty. Bill Cosby is in prison right now for drugging women and raping them. So why are you leaving Dr. Hibbert episodes in, but you're taking out Michael Jackson when, like I said, it sounds like I'm defending the guy. Michael Jackson supposedly molested children, but he was found innocent. All that stuff. Cosby, found guilty, serving time right now. No mention of Dr. Hibbert being removed. And then while we're at it, I know Liam Neeson was in an episode of The Simpsons, and recently he was known to have made racist comments about towards black people long time ago. And everyone was in an uproar about Neeson. Let's get rid of that episode while we're at it. And I'm sure there's so many more people I'm missing. I'm sure there's so many more disgusting human beings that have guest starred on The Simpsons because the show's been on for almost 30 fucking years. Groening, you can't nitpick. I mean, especially if it's someone who wasn't found guilty even though he may have done it. I don't fucking know. Again, I haven't seen the documentary. And again, Michael's Looney Tune ass is dead and he can't defend himself. But it's this nitpicking thing. Is he doing it to appease, fans of The Simpsons, the ones still clinging on after all this time? If he is, that's sad. Not just because he might be caving in, but it's sad because that was actually a really good episode. Not just with the whole Michael Jackson thing, hey, it was cool that Homer met Michael Jackson in a loony bin, and there was good interaction between the two. Michael Jackson did a really, really good job. It was also a really good, sweet episode talking about the relationship with Bart and Lisa. Lisa's the middle child. Lisa was forgotten on her birthday because Michael Jackson came to their house and all this hoopla and everything. And then Michael, the Michael Jackson character, who we find out is really Leon Kompowski. I'm fucking Simpsons nerd from back then. He convinces Bart to make a song for Lisa, and it's a really sweet, touching moment where Bart first makes a really horrible song, poking fun at her, and Michael's basically saying, "No, that's not right. He's basically saying, this is your sister. You love her. Show her how you love her in this song." And then of course they make the song. It's probably gonna get. I'm not gonna sing it because if I sing it, it's gonna get stuck in my head for 24 hours, and it will get stuck in yours as well. But it's a really sweet scene between Bart, Lisa, and Michael. Lisa's, so moved by this. She hugs Bart at the end. They have a good relationship for at least the last 5 minutes of the episode. And then Michael becomes Leon again, and he talks about how he was angry at the world all the time. And then he just, for some reason, started talking like Michael, and his life changed for the better, I guess. I don't know. So it just sucks that, this episode is being pulled not just because Matt Groening's kind of being a bitch right now, but it's a really good episode. Not just with the Michael stuff, but with the Bart and Lisa stuff as well. So it's really disappointing that people are just doing this. It's disappointing that it's hypocritical that, an episode is getting pulled due to allegations made against a person who has been, I hate saying this, but he's been found innocent. As weird as he is, he was found innocent regardless. And then you all these other characters are still in syndication. So that's just my 2 cents. I could be wrong. You comment below. Tell me what you think. I look at all this stuff from like a logical thing, man. And I posted it on Twitter, and all these people are, some agree with me. Some are saying I'm supporting a child molester. No. Obviously, you haven't been reading what I've been tweeting. Potent don't know it. Anyways, those are my 2 cents. I wanted to throw that in there, or make this short video, because I was a huge Simpsons fan back then. Still love the classic episodes from like 10 and before. But anyways, it's just sad to see that a really good episode is being pulled for, I personally think, stupid reasons. So I'm just gonna say cheers, and for shame, Matt Groening. For shame.